Folks, welcome to Werewolf Radar, the world's premier paranormal preparedness podcast. My name is Jordan Bell.
I am Nate Balding.
And I am Roger Norquist.
Today's episode of Werewolf Radar is brought to you by Monstroco Updog. What's Updog? Updog is a powerful chemical exfoliant that can be delivered via spray bottle, super soaker, or good old-fashioned bucket. Prank your friends, deglove your enemies with Monstroco Updog. That's what's up. And then it says screaming sounds.
Ooh.
Were we supposed to make a sound effect?
I was late on that.
Let's just do it. Let's do the screaming sound. I'll take it again. Prank your friends, deglove your enemies with Monstroco Updog. That's what's up. Ah! Nice. I think that'll take. Okay, I think we got it.
Well, gentlemen, should I take the skull first? I have once again a number of
take that healthy skull.
First-hand accounts. This is some true paranormal preparedness. People are kind of asking what's happening.
What's happening?
I got interested in the multiverse a little bit, the concepts of it, how possibly truly I watched Spirited Away. And I was all like,
love it.
Because it's such a cross-cultural concept. A lot of Lovecraftian tales are a Spirited Away situation, like all of a sudden you're in Arkham and you don't know how you got here.
Hey, I'm here for it, pal.
So I went to Reddit to our Glitch in the Matrix, where I found a lot of decent people asking, yo, did I enter a different universe here? What happened?
Cool. This actually ties in very nicely with my segment as well. So
nice.
There's that.
Well, then I shall pass the skull to you afterwards. Also, it's nibbling on my shin. Should I stop it or?
Nope, let it finish.
Okay. This first one is from a user that goes by Fairy Cat Attack. So I think this was a glitch or I'm going crazy. LOL. Went to the mall with a friend of mine that we go to all the time. The mall isn't that big, so it's pretty easy to remember the layout of the stores and whatnot. One day while walking through it, we looked at a new store that was opening where there used to be a Journey store.
It's a hot topic. What a fucked up time.
We went in to check it out since we were bored and there wasn't much in it. We were assuming because they were still putting it together. And they had these cool plastic chandeliers and we bought one. They were literally one of the only things in the store. To be honest, none of the items in here made much sense. They had like 5 of these chandeliers, which I will actually show a picture of. Let me share the screen for the YouTube and the bunker. Weird plastic chandeliers.
Oh, wow.
Purple chandelier, kind of like a gaudy type affair that you would see in a like, I don't know, 1920s. Yeah, 1920s Gilded Age type affair, but purple.
Does seem like some pop-up stuff where maybe they just walked in and someone that was supposed to put that up was like, if you've got cash.
But here you go.
I'll take a day's wage.
They had 5 of those chandeliers, 1 rack of clothes that literally looked like they were from the early 2000s, super out of style. I read that, and all my clothes is literally from this time, and I went, it's time to maybe go clothes shopping.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree. I think you're coming back.
One of those hand-shaped chairs, I forgot to pull up a picture of it, but we know what we're talking about. One of those, like, you sit on the palm and the hand's grabbing your back. And some random accessories at the register. A few days later, the friend and I went, the friend that I went with said, let me say all again, it's Reddit and written as Reddit is sometimes. A few days later, the friend that they went with wanted to get some more of the chandeliers, and when they couldn't find it, so then they asked their friend to go, yo, come back with me so I can find this store. When they got to the mall, it was not there, and the Journeys was back in that location. They were confused, so they asked one of the employees what happened to the other store, and they had no idea what they were talking about. And it was across the food court. It was in the food court area, and they asked everyone in the food court what happened to the store that they bought a chandelier from. I remind you, we saw the picture, and none of them had any clue what they were talking about. No one could recall any new store being even in the mall.
Weird.
And the map did not contain any, like the little mall kiosk map did not contain any new store coming ins and goings.
Maybe it was a pop-up.
It was where the Journey store was and is. That's the weird thing about this. Like, the Journey store would have to have moved all their shit out.
Right. You're right.
So, I mean, what are we saying? This is a clear-cut case, I feel, of you entered the alter mall.
The alter mall.
The alternative universe of the mall, where deals aren't every day.
Every other day.
Is spelled backwards.
But that one, I think, is a very clear-cut case to where, where the Journey store is. It's very clear. You asked a number of people. I'm also taking you at, giving you quite the benefit of the doubt to where you're not lying to us. Are you?
Me? No.
No. Fairy Cat Attack. Are you Fairy Cat Attack?
No.
Okay.
No.
Your boob's 420 on Reddit, right?
Always.
Okay, just making sure. That way I don't read what happened to you and I can save it for you saying it.
Yeah.
So that's that one. What do y'all think? Parallel universe, or you guys
pop-up
just
store.
high? Pop-up store?
Pop-up store, but might have also time slipped into 1998. In the second part where they're talking about people who are like, what the fuck are you talking about?
This one is from John 30859. John 30859.
On 30859.
I don't know that part of the Bible, but it might be missing.
It's not in the Bible. That's part of the Quran.
Fair enough.
So this is in their voice. Me, my cousin, and my aunt were all outside on the front porch playing. We were all the same age, very childlike, first grade. Two teenagers approach us and ask us if we want to see a dead body. I now realize this is just the body.
Keep going.
No.
Let's see. How
Two
far
teenagers approach us and ask if we want to see a castle. I knew, but it's very body set up here. I knew this was a bad idea, but my cousin had to go see it, so we both agreed to follow. We went into the woods and walked along a trail for what felt like an eternity. They realized it was probably truly 20 minutes or so. You understand how kid passage of time goes.
Sure.
You feel every second back then. We arrive at a beautiful, gleaming, majestic castle in the distance. I'm talking something you would see in the movies. This place was made of heaven. It literally shined as if we entered a city of wealth. We excitedly looked at each other and sprinted home to tell our parents. The teenagers stayed behind and never chased or followed us. Our run back was instantaneous, however, as if it took just a few seconds compared to the walk to get there. We tell our parents, and obviously she's freaked the fuck out and tells us no more playing outside for the day. Here's the thing. My mom was so incredibly strict on me that she never would have let me out of her sight for longer than a minute. The door to the front porch was open, so there was no way two random teenagers could have actually taken us into the woods, let alone anywhere without one of our parents seeing. My mom and my cousin's mom were two adults home at the time. And it seems a helicopter parent. So I believe, they're probably trying to keep an eye on the kid. And if they were gone for 20 minutes, this would have been a police affair.
Yeah.
I spoke to my mom about this multiple times. There's no church or anything nearby that we could have mistaken to be a castle. And I even looked as an adult with no luck. All three of us remember this phenomenon. I'm 25 now, so it's been 20 years, but we've spoken about this at the ages of 8, 12, 15. Just growing up, they have always reminded each other of this moment, with each other's memories staying very consistent. So my question is, what the fuck happened? Gentlemen, was this an alternative universe? Or in their words, the two creeps tried to assault them and kill them?
Whoa. I mean, maybe.
That's not their words. They use more aggressive words that I will save for Werewolf Radar After Dark. No church or castle. They saw Majestic Castle from the movies. Two teenagers took them there and did not follow them when they ran excitedly away.
Did you ever see that movie Invisible Skin?
No.
It's about these guys who get abducted, and long story short, they by aliens. This one guy's trying to find out. Mysterious Skin. That's it.
Yeah.
Trying to find out what happened to them. We were abducted by aliens.
It's a brutal ass Greg Araki movie.
Yeah. And they basically find out that no, they were not abducted by aliens.
They were just sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
So you're on for the no. They were just sexually assaulted.
Maybe. I don't know. It's tricky. It's a tricky one to call without having been there.
I'd like to believe they weren't.
Yeah.
It's weird, I think, to instead of just blocking out that memory, and I'm no expert in this at all, but I think blocking out the memory would be more likely than a shared false memory.
Sure, true.
I don't know, though. Please correct us in the comments if that's real, but
there is also there's just so much here that we can't know and are relying on the memory of a child for not to
Yes, this is 20 years past, and even though I said that the memories seem to be consistent, they are, of course, corroborating this event over 20 years into what it has become that we're reading.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, and we also only have one person reporting.
You're right. I need to find the cousins.
Find those cousins.
It could be that they were just playing around with some sort of let's go into the woods.
Here we go. Add a comment.
This kid was so sheltered that the first time he used his imagination, he was like, "What is this? What's happening?"
Fair.
It's like I can see a castle. They're like,
could
dude,
be as well. Yeah,
that's just your imagination. Are you not? I'm not supposed to use it.
And then his cousins were like, "Look, kid, the first hit's free."
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
True. I'm going to put in the comments of Reddit, try and build that Reddit karma. Acquire us your cousins so we can question them on your story.
Don't say that.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Don't put that into Reddit.
It's too late. I'm asking them to acquire cousins for us.
Oh boy.
That is acquire cousins.
Acquire cousins.
The last story that I found, and then I will pass the gnawing skull, I guess, this time to one of you two, probably you, Jordan, to carry on this affair. Is from Dancing Squidward.
Okay. One of the better Squidwards.
One of the better ones. So for some context, my cat always sleeps with me every night.
Oh boy.
If this thing puts a fucking napkin on its head.
I always sleep with my bedroom door closed. Whenever my cat decides she wants to come into bed, I'm already in my room. She meows at the door so that I can come open it to let her in. My cat also has a very distinct, unique, recognizable meow. I wish you recorded it so we could hear it. Now I'm left to imagine.
It just knocks on the door and says, "Excuse me?"
It's very high-pitched and kitten-like. It's adorable, and it sounds almost human. Like it says, "Excuse me?"
Now, I've seen a lot of this on TikTok recently.
Sure. What are you maybe it is, and you can tell me after the story. They have no other cats in or around the house. This is happening in the moment. A couple of minutes ago, as I was laying in bed scrolling on my phone before I go to sleep, I very clearly heard my cat's meow on the other side of the door, so I was getting ready to let her in when I realized that she's already in my room. I thought I was just hearing things, but when I looked up at her, she had woken up and was staring at the door too, all perked up as she heard it. We are both very confused as it was her meow. I have gone to the door to check. There is nothing there. It wasn't a sound from my phone. I wasn't looking at any videos, and it definitely came from outside of my door. I am home alone, so it wasn't playing a weird. I'm home alone, so it wasn't anyone playing a weird prank on me, and there's nothing in the area that could replicate her exact meow. I'm baffled. I don't know what this is. Is this another dimension entering ours, like in the other two where we entered another dimension?
I think that we have way too many options here.
I think we can get rid of some, like the house is locked. There's no other cats. It's a very unique meow. You know, very few things can. What are you suggesting? And let me bat them away like a cat.
Like there's no other. All right, I'll try and do it. There's no reason that a doppelganger would be doing some sort of pet voice, or fae for that matter. I mean, how many things have we talked about that imitate other things?
Oh, so you're actually on board.
Shit ton.
You're on board. You're all like, no, this could be another dimensional creature, a mimic.
Not even another dimension. It could be from this dimension. It'd just be some sort of spiritual entity that wants to enter this person's room. And I think the main issue would be what entities need to get inside of your room, need to get close to you, can't pass through doors.
Oh, you're saying it's a vampire cat.
Vampirismo.
A vampire cat, in fact.
Vampire cat, in fact.
Banicula's friends.
Banicula's own.
Just beats him with that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very strange. And, you know, throughout time,
History and memoriam.
Cats are weird. Cats are one in, one out. Like I said, I've seen shit on TikTok recently that has made me be like, you guys are little elven fuckers, aren't you?
Yeah. So what's your TikTok angle on this?
Well,
what have you seen?
Just in terms of cats, just them talking. Like people have captured their cats like saying things back to them, like as though, you know, as a cat or a dog will make a sound like okay.
Yes.
Like stuff like that. But it really seems to make sense.
like
you're
they're evolving to learn our speech.
Yeah, or like a generation of buccaneckos has gotten to age that they can speak.
And they hate Mondays.
And they hate Mondays and they love lasagna. Lasagna, sorry.
That's what I wanted to pull out with my segment. I think I enjoyed it. I hope you did as well. No, I know I enjoyed it.
and I know you did.
And I know you did. Yeah, you got where I was going with that. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna I don't know, put some Vaseline on this shin of mine, and yep. The skull's not liking the Vaseline, and I'm gonna.
You can just let the skull out of your sight for a minute.
Okay.
And it will. Yeah, here it is. Great. It appeared in the corner of my vision. So I wanted to talk about Faetraps. This is a thing that we have talked about. We touched on briefly before. I think I was going to talk about them, but then I was like, nah, this is kind of just TikTok nonsense. But it keeps happening, and this is an art. If you like I might be asking, what the fuck is a Faetrap?
Mm-hmm. I assume truly it's a cage of pig iron.
Sure. Baited with a rose planted by a lonesome prince.
I assume it's a goblin that I meet at a bar that I don't realize is a goblin because I am drunk.
It's a type of music.
Oh, okay.
That goblins.
Yeah, you go to a goblin trap house.
Don't like, actually. Okay. So this is an article from Yahoo Life. What is a Faetrap? Everything we know about the mystical world TikTok is obsessed with. So I'm going to go ahead and share screen, and we're going to watch some of these TikToks as we go. So it says search the term Faetrap on TikTok and you'll wind up with thousands of results. In fact, videos tagged with the catchphrase have already drawn more than 25.6 million views. But what does a Faetrap actually mean? It is not a cage made of pig iron. It is not a surprise goblin. For starters, Fae is plural for form of fairy and refers to a group of magical creatures in European mythology. Please, come on, Yahoo Life. Who do you think you're talking to?
You're talking to the Pingo Nation, okay?
Pingo Nation. But these aren't just any fairies. Instead of being a positive force that brings good fortune, the Fae are known for being tricksters who mislead humans and bring nothing but bad luck. In other words, it's best to avoid them. As for Faetraps, these refer to elaborate setups the Fae would create to lure humans into their secret world. On TikTok, it is now being used to describe any place in nature that seems to have a magical yet deceptive aura about it. So, can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
It looks like
so we've learned not
Burbank.
to click these.
Yeah, we learned that top one is just a regular For You page thing.
This is Todd Darling talking about a Faetrap.
Obvious Faetrap.
I'm a very obvious Faetrap doorway to nothing. I don't know, let's go. No.
So that's an idea of what the kind of shit that they're talking about when you come across stuff like that and you're like, oh wow, this is like right out of a fairy tale. So
it's very
has to say
Arthurian kind of like, you know,
Yeah.
it's like the entryway to Avalon. Is that the fairyland?
Bones are gonna make the prettiest.
I think it's kind of a secondary situation, fairyland necessarily, but yeah.
That was too much sausage. Hide the sausage, Jordan.
Anything
shit.
that looks cool.
Oh, whoops. Okay, so yeah, let's see what else we got here. Kind of Faetrap is this? Somebody says.
Both of those are some weird things. As you know, in Cali, there's a bunch of spots like that beach one.
Woods. And there's a fire hydrant?
Okay.
Faetrap is this?
I like the idea that a fire hydrant might be a Faetrap.
But
Sure.
No. Why is that there? Go back to that video. That
Because you want.
you don't have to go back to it. Actually, it was very weird. Like it was very like there was nothing built around it. It seems like an out of place fire hydrant. Maybe there was construction there before, but I don't know.
Many TikTokers have also been breaking down the meaning of the term in their own videos lately. And one TikTok shared by North Cascades Tarot has helped clear up a lot of the confusion about who the Fae really are. Okay, so let's have a look.
What are Fae and what is a Faetrap? Let's go. Fae are a type of mythical creature that exist in many cultures the world over. They go by many different names, which I will list some of here on the screen for you. They can have
just the slurs, huh?
forms, much like
I was about to say.
kinds of birds with different sizes and colors and personalities. The same is true for Fae. You can think of the word Fae as an umbrella term. There are many different categories and types that fall within that umbrella. Fae tend to like nature and natural spaces, although there is some folklore that may indicate the existence of house Fae, such as brownies. Moving on to Fae traps now. So the most common is a fairy ring or mushroom ring.
Okay.
They look like this.
Yep, I'm familiar.
If you'd like more information on those, I have a whole separate video that addresses them. Though any other orb of light or shiny, shimmery thing that may get the attention of passers-by may fall into that category. This begs the question, what happens if you go in a fairy ring or end up in a Fae trap?
Yes.
Folklore tells us that if you go in a fairy ring or into a Fae trap, that you may be forced to dance until you go mad.
Literally my worst fear.
From exhaustion.
Yeah, that's pretty
Other
bad.
types of Fae traps may include you getting kidnapped into the other world or into the fairy realm. And while that sounds like a nice escapist alternate plan, it's not that pleasant, or could potentially not be that pleasant, based on the folklore that we have. The real danger in Fae traps is that you may or may not come back from that experience. It's important here, however, to recognize that Fae and actions of the Fae are not the only explanation for why ferns wiggle, why leaves may go in a circle, why grass may grow in a ring, or mushrooms may grow in a ring. We have to look at the scientific explanation as well.
I will not.
I made a few videos on these specific items.
It's okay. We're not going to watch those. So that is a little bit more information from Cascades.
No, I like it. I like
North
it. It's definitely
Cascades,
something
Brita.
that I don't fear.
Yeah.
Like, I don't fear entering the Fae realm. I would be excited to do it, even if I
Really? You just
even
said it was
if
your
I-
worst fear to dance.
Yes.
You don't always have to dance.
But you-
Sometimes you just become schizophrenic.
But you know what I hate more than both of those?
Go on.
Paying for health care and housing.
Okay.
This
all
seems
right.
like my way out, baby.
Okay. Well, there you have it.
You could dance your way into the perfect amount of poverty.
A confident plea.
'cause,
from an
like-
ignorant man.
I think maybe I open up a Fae house, you know, and it's a hotel for Fae entering the human world, and I give them the human skin they need for their human masks.
Again, this is just spirited away.
I think Fae House works. I think we should do it.
I think Fae House is a go. For one thing, she made clear that Fae are not like Tinkerbell or the friendly-faced fairy in Fern Gully because of their devious streaks.
All I remember is the
tricksters
bat.
and up to no good. Yeah, me too.
Fucked up Robin Williams.
That was his passion project.
TikTokers are now making light of the whole thing by sharing Faetraps they've come across out in the world, and people can't stop watching. So let's watch a few more, shall we?
No, that's the ad.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, no, you did it right. I don't know how TikTok works.
I have ever seen.
I'm gonna go touch it.
No, Maria, you're gonna.
And then Maria was never seen again.
I don't know about that one, although I love the passion in the video, but like that was a campfire, right?
Person says, but really, what is this? Is that the same one? Yeah.
The most.
That's a campfire ring, right?
I don't know what that is. Looks like a Fae trap to me.
You would know more. You grew up in the woods.
Oh, I've seen stuff like this before.
That was some weird branch placement. I normally attribute that
Oh,
to
look at it.
Bigfoot.
It's waving.
Oh. Yeah, that's weird. What's going on with that Arab soccer team?
Be on the lookout, folks, out there for Fae traps. They're on the rise. What do you think? Have you ever seen anything that looks like a Fae trap? Contact us at Werewolf Radar.
I definitely have. I think in Colorado in the mountains when I was doing the Boy Scouts.
Oh yeah,
some weird rock placements to where like it was like a fire ring, but there was no evidence of a fire, kind of like that. I just always thought like it's a fire pit.
That's what we call a repressed memory.
Oh. Do I get money from a class action lawsuit against the Boy Scouts of America?
No, that's super interesting.
Well, you can actually probably enjoin what I assume is an ongoing class action lawsuit.
Weird amethyst formations you'll find in the Colorado mountains.
Yeah.
I think I have seen some legitimate Fae traps by this definition and example.
Interesting.
Well, I've 100% seen like mushroom circles.
Yeah, I've definitely
seen that. But I mean, that's like
before.
a natural occurrence.
Yeah. It occurs naturally when fairies decree them to have to occur.
Yeah. And who's in charge of nature? Fairies.
Fairies are in charge of nature, Nate.
I've also danced inside of them while eating all of those mushrooms.
Really?
And none of them made me high enough to go to the fairy realm.
Go to the fairy realm. Well, I imagine if you had gone to the fairy realm, we'd simply never see you again.
Yeah, no, this is more buyer's remorse than anything.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is you don't believe in any of this because they didn't let you into the door.
That's right. I'm a little mad. I'm mad at the door, man.
I see. Now it all makes sense. Well, that does it for my segment that I'm calling Fairy Trap House with Faetrap House with Jordan and the Werewolf Radar boys, in which we watch a few TikToks and kind of yammer about Fae Traps. Fae House is the script. We'll get you something by Monday. You can count on us. Who wants the skull?
I
Nate?
want it again. I have no segment. I just want to hold it. I miss it.
Nate, I'm going to let the skull out of my sight briefly, and it should appear somewhere near you.
Blink, 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 blink. Oh, got it. Got my stupid leg, too.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's hungry
all
today.
of us. Yeah, we're gonna need some bandages. So I guess I'm gonna go with the shorter version of this. Has anyone ever heard about the evil Leeds wizard whose trickery led to murder and Satan worship?
Is you? Are they talking about you?
It's not me. I'm not technically from Leeds.
Oh, okay. All right. No, then.
Then yeah, no, I'm on the no
team.
Camp.
All right, well, let's take a trip into the past and meet some people that some of which might have called mentally disturbed and some of whom might have said we're con men. They come together very nicely. So this is from Leeds Live. In 1856, a young farmer called William Dove was hanged for murdering his wife. It wasn't uncommon for young men to find themselves at the end of the rope for such a crime. I would think not.
Bit victim blamey, but yeah.
But the tale of William Dove and a quote-unquote wizard called Henry Harrison was anything but ordinary.
Henry Harrison and that boy of his.
Dove's story gets a brief mention in the BBC history series House Through Time Examines a House in Headlingsea, which terrible fucking name for really anything.
Pretty much the worst name for anything.
Most names in England, I'm learning, are awful.
But what we thought of Dove's tale involving black magic and Satan worship deserves deeper exploration. To understand what landed Dove in the noose, we need to go back a little further and meet a sinister chap named Henry Harrison. Born to a family of dyers in Boar Lane,
Dyers,
Harrison
like
lost...
those who die?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
D-Y-E, not D-I-Y or anything.
Yeah.
Just a family of habitual sick people who are always just falling over.
Have you ever noticed how people in this family keep dying? They live like 70, 80 years and then just die.
They're constantly using all kinds of crazy shit in all the lead, mostly.
Lead, mostly. Just lead poisoning. Family keeps licking it.
So there is a lot more to this, but we'll just go with the article has and say Harrison lost his job and became a drifter and a thief.
Nice.
Harrison moved to Morin, Holbrook, and started a romantic relationship with his landlady, Elizabeth Brown.
Ooh, that's how you get a discount.
Oh, yeah. While living with Brown and her son George, who set up a grocer's shop in Hunslet, Harrison began trading as a wizard.
Okay.
Now, what does that mean?
Okay,
Yeah.
so he was essentially mostly just like selling weird shit that he found outside as things that he turned into some sort of magical cures.
Okay, so
Shit and things.
Shit and things, and also spells. He would sell you his spells.
shit and thing and also spells here in Leeds.
He continued to make a living stealing things, but branched out into, and as I've said, selling herbs and drugs and spells and charms.
Herbs and spice and everything nice.
By the 1850s, Harrison was working as a self-styled astrological doctor and dentist. Because nobody better to treat your teeth than a guy who's like, what if I just ask Venus?
See, I think the other way. I think what a wonderful sage, and he's also a dentist.
Wow, in the meantime, he dents? Who has the time?
The article goes on to say science had overtaken superstition and quackery by the mid-19th century, but such nonsense still appealed to the gullible and the vulnerable. Indeed,
And me.
And I would say us. You're not alone here.
Fair.
Indeed, it was widespread in Leeds at the time. Enter 28-year-old tenant farmer William Dove, who had months earlier been arrested for trying to kill himself. As at the time, suicide was a crime.
Still is, baby.
How did he, what, did he get away from himself?
I think, he was the cops and the criminal.
Sure.
I do believe the hospital, like if someone would find you, a doctor would take care of you, and your wounds, if indicating suicide, would then be like you tried to off yourself. Mm-hmm. You also now incur this fine because it goes against God's decree, and all laws are based on God's decree. And that's when the rhythm guitar starts, and then the drums,
Right.
And then 19 more minutes of Tangerine Dream. As a child, Dove was deeply disturbed. He had chased his sister with a hot poker, set fire to the curtains of his bedroom, and tortured cats and kittens.
Oh boy.
He had been kicked out of school, having carried a gun there, and threatened to shoot his father.
Fuck.
He continued to be threatening and violent towards animals and people as a volatile young adult.
Wow. Okay. Just an all-around piece of shit.
Yeah, but like medically categorized piece of shit. Like this boy has been a piece of shit since birth, and his chemical imbalances make him that.
Yeah.
Probably. And no one should have ever given him a gun.
Nah, you need a gun. I'm also American, so that's just what we do here. You need a gun? I got you one. Come to the Norquist trade show in the back alley.
Roger's just come from a controversial opinion seminar.
Yeah, I'm having them.
Dove, worried about his tenancy and his marriage, approached Harrison in October 1854, looking to have his fortune told and seeking magical aid.
Sure.
So this guy is in a situation where his insanity is about to get him thrown out of his house, and he thinks his wife's going to leave him. So, of course, he goes to a local magician.
Sure.
Makes total sense.
Mm-hmm. Can you cast Fireball?
Like Nate?
How much damage would that do to my bitch of a wife?
Well, do you want to pay $1,000 for 6th level, or
No.
double that for 7?
First of all, because in the Grave Nugget, I'm not going to spoil it, but the wish spell for one use is $200. So I'm not paying $1,000 for a measly little level 6 fireball.
Yeah, pal.
All right, no. Full on.
What do you think you're dealing with here?
That's if you're buying a wish machine, and that's if you're buying it when it was first offered.
Come on, Roger.
Not
Let's
when
get
it's
out of here.
offered now.
Guy's trying to jerk us around. A fucking $100 level 6 upgrade.
Anyway, at Dove's farm, possibly in Branham, which I don't know where that is. I suppose apparently outside Leeds.
Paranormal cryptid? Where is it?
Harrison carried out a ritual for magical protection involving coins and gave Dove a charm. Dove continued to receive predictions and charms from Harrison between 1854 and 1856. So, dude was into it. He believed everything that was being told to him.
He was here for it.
His wife, Harriet, of course, was
a spy, famous spy.
Nice.
Was impressed with Harrison, who later predicted Dove would remarry a woman with auburn hair, light complexion, and a good fortune. It will not disturb you to find that that's actually exactly what he thought his neighbor looked like.
Oh. So once again, I must add.
It also won't surprise you to find that the guy had the article posted as a morbid fascination with strychnine, which he then bought a ton of.
Yeah, what is he, Glenn Danzig? Get out of here.
Yeah. He then used several grains. He bought 15 grains of strychnine, which I don't know how much that is. Seems like a lot.
It's a decent amount. Yeah.
It's like very little to me.
Yeah,
The
but
grams?
Oh, I thought you said grains.
No, grains.
Oh.
Grain. I'm going to look that up now. Grains of strychnine.
Well, I guarantee you that 3 of them are enough to kill at least a couple cats and a squirrel.
Okay, so that's a decent amount. Like, if 3 can do multiple, 3 will probably kill a human.
Which is why he gave them all to his wife over the next 6 days.
Oh.
According to the article, Harriet died in agonizing convulsions on the 6th night of being given strychnine. And Dove, who'd gone about his crime in the most indiscreet manner, was quickly arrested.
Sure.
Because, yes, he was a psycho who probably said, everyone, I'm going to kill my wife.
Yeah.
And I'm buying all this strychnine.
Why are you buying all this strychnine, sir?
Well, because I have to marry the woman who's my neighbor. God
16
damn
grains?
it.
Is that a lot? I don't know.
Here is I have the minimum lethal dose estimates for strychnine in humans. Human, oral, adult, 50 to 100 milligrams.
Okay, does it have anal on there?
Yeah, if you boof it,
Weirdly,
just like shoot it out.
if you boof it, it says come in 5 to 10 minutes approximately.
Oh boy.
No, that's actually death. If you boof it, you will die in 5.
Still die. That counts as eating it?
No. Boofing it, you die hella fast. You like
You die faster, huh?
5 milligrams up your butt of strychnine will kill you versus 50 to 100 orally.
Yeah, you think you're against that? That's the official podcast stance?
We're against strychnine anally.
Kids, don't boof it.
Don't boof it. Yeah.
I mean, can we make that a shirt? Just don't boof
You can
it.
make any shirt.
Yeah,
Anything a shirt.
we have a
Alright.
Teespring account.
You just got to get the motivation.
People ask for don't boof it shirts.
But
and
speaking
ye
of
shall
which-
receive.
New Werewolf Radar Spaceman Joe shirt, thanks to Jordan at the merch store, werewolfradar.com.
Hey, hell yeah.
Indeed.
Colors.
So he ends up going to York Castle, condemned to imprisonment for some time until his death. Clearly suffering from some sort of severe mental illness, he wrote a letter in his blood to the devil from
Metal.
his prison cell as he awaited
Metal
his
as shit.
trial. And it reads as such. Quote, Dear Devil.
Very informal.
If you will get me clear at the assizes, which is just the name of the court at the time, and let me have the enjoyment of life, health, wealth, tobacco, beer, more food, and better my wishes granted and live till I am 60.
That was
Come to
old
me.
age.
Yeah. Come to me and tell me I remain your faithful subject, William Dove. He also pled insanity during his trial. The defense apparently tried to make Harriet look like the crazy person and suggested that she may have taken the poison herself. But the jury, of course, found him guilty and he was sentenced to death.
Oh, wow.
I think rightfully so.
Yeah, he definitely murdered his wife, sought out the devil using his own blood, and was part and parcel to a quote-unquote wizard. William Bruce, a crusading lawyer from Headingley, became concerned that a man who had suffered from mental illness all his life was unjustly being sent to the gallows. Fair enough. I agree. Bruce, later a Leeds magistrate, argued for his death, sentenced to be commuted, but it was no avail. He was hanged at York Castle August 9th, 1856, in front of a crowd of between 10 and 15,000 strong.
Ooh.
Wow.
Henry Harrison would later be known to the press as Dove's evil genius, which doesn't make any sense because he didn't save him at all. He just made him kill his wife. And would go on to commit a couple of crimes himself, mostly sexual assault, and be accused of bigamy. Because the sexual assault, it was just like, well, that's not a real crime at the time.
Oh, wow.
But having two wives, ooh, big problem.
Yeah.
God said that shall have one.
And he would later go to jail for 4 years. And his career was pretty much ended after.
Yeah, you don't really return from that overall. And it doesn't sound like he had the mental ability to either.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he did some stuff, but never got back to inspiring a man to court the devil in prison after murdering his wife.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which is pretty fucking crazy.
The blood one
folks.
for me is so intense.
Yeah.
But so
Writing
Yeah,
to
I
the
mean,
devil
that's-
in ink, sure. But like blood is truly how you get him there.
Yeah.
well, blood's family, man.
Blood's family.
You just made Satan your pal and your father. It's weird. But yeah, that's the short on the Henry Harrison, the evil Leeds wizard who helped a guy named William Dove kill his wife.
The evil Leeds wizard who helped a guy named William Duff kill his wife. Damn, we're funky today.
We are
Thank you so
funky.
much for listening to this episode of Werewolf Radar. Y'all are the best. Shout out to Chuck from Snappy Little Numbers for our intro and outro song. Shout out to Cheesebot O'Doom. Shout out to Janet Bravo for taking it in the Zoom room. Rest of you are Dark Council. Thank you so much for your continued support of the show. If you would like to be a Dark Council member, you can go to patreon.com/werewolf radar. You can help us out with a small financial donation. You will get an extra episode every week. You will get fiction. You will get merch. You will get all kinds of shit. Twitch. You can find us on Twitch. You can find us on Threads. You can find us on Threads. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on
Most
friggin-
places, and I'm
most
finding the
places.
passwords, baby.
That's what I keep telling everybody. We're like everywhere.
But truly, the Discord is the best spot. That's where we're all
Discord's the best
active.
spot.
Links on the YouTube video, and I believe on the description to most of our socials.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Join the Pingo Discord.
Join the Pingo Discord. That does it for this episode of Werewolf Radar. Thank you so much for everything. On the count of 3, our sign-off line for everybody. 1, 2, 3. Punch the sky.
Spaceman Joe. I have something insane to read to you all.